Welcome to the show. Got another great guest for you today. It is such a pleasure to introduce to you my good friend, Mr. Maury Beasley. Maury, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us today. Exciting news today, and I know a lot of folks in town have already heard, but some may be seeing for the first time. We've got a new bank coming to Dublin and Lawrence County. Now, you guys have been providing services for a lot of folks, I think, maybe in Dublin and Lawrence County, but you're actually going to have a physical presence here with this new venture. So I want you to take just a few minutes and just in case someone's watching today and they don't know you as well as I do and they don't get to play golf with you and see you out in the community as much as I do, tell us a little bit about Maury Beasley and then tell us a little bit about this exciting announcement.
So, Heath, first of all, thanks for allowing me to be here today. I'm from Dublin, born and raised here. Love this community. Love what you guys do for this community as well. So I am, again, I grew up here, went to school here, went to Dublin High School, had the opportunity to go to the University of Georgia, came back home, and since then I've been in community banking since 2003. Let me tell you a little bit about my family first. My wife, Misty, she's formerly Misty Bracewell, is also from Dublin. We've got two kids. We've got a ninth grader now and a seventh grader now. I think you've met both my kids out at the golf course, and
they're pretty good at golf too, both of them.
They enjoy golf, and they're both doing pretty well. So it's a really fun time right now. And golf's something I did a lot. I played college golf at Georgia, and we not too long ago we had the opportunity to move from our family farm back here to Dublin in town, and just being close to the golf course, being close here in town, it's just made a huge difference, and we certainly are enjoying that. But I know one thing you have asked me to something that we want to talk about is our move into Dublin, something we're super excited about. I came to the bank in 2012, and we were the Bank of Soperton, and the Bank of Soperton's been around for a long time, since 1903, one of the older banks in the state. But so obviously a lot of my networking came from Dublin and Lawrence County, and so even then I knew one day if I ever had an opportunity to run the bank, and at that time I wasn't running the bank, I was just a senior lender, that Dublin is a market that I wanted us to have an opportunity to be in. And so we've grown the bank. We're about a $150 million bank today. When I came to the bank in 2012, we were about a $28 million bank. We steadily grew our loan portfolio over here, and in 2015, I became president of the bank, and we decided to go a different direction at that time. We went into the Vidalia market, and that market has been huge for our bank, allowing us to grow on both sides of the balance sheet. But again, Dublin is somewhere that we've had our eyes on, and somewhere that we knew we were going to go. We've got about $25 million worth of loans in this market alone. But we don't really have the deposits. So that's somewhere this is a market that we think that we provide a wonderful opportunity and maybe a little different type of banking than you may be getting now. So again, we think we're just a small bank, a small hometown bank that really gets involved in the community, which is something that you guys are all about. And again, we think we're really super excited about some of the folks we're about to bring on, or that we have brought on, but we're, again, we think that come in the next couple of weeks, next 2 or 3 weeks, we will we'll have a bank here. We'll be open for business, and again, super excited about that.
So tell me a little bit, and I'll back up first and say thank you, because you guys, even from the time, and I'm saying thank you to you and your bank, you've been invested and involved in our Chamber of Commerce in our community, even when you were Bank of Soperton previously, and now, of course, even coming in with Georgia First, you guys are already invested and involved in the Chamber. You guys, I see you at golf tournaments. I see your team out there, and I don't say team in just playing in the event, supporting the event, sponsoring holes. And then one of the other things that's so near and dear to me is to me, I think we have without a doubt the best ambassador program around, and you guys will be our premier sponsors for that next year as well. So thank you for your investment and being a part of this community long before now, but even the things that you're going to do in the future. Maury, take just a minute and tell our folks what they can expect when they come into your branches.
So again, like I mentioned earlier, we're a smaller bank, smaller but growing bank with all the bells and whistles and all the technology that, I mean, to be honest with you, some of the bigger banks may not have, and even some of our competition may not have yet. So just because of, we're not a huge asset size doesn't mean that we can't give you absolutely everything you need in the form of a community bank. Local decision making, I mean, very quick response time. I think those are all things that folks are looking for. And again, the level of service that we provide and we'll be able to provide over here, I think is phenomenal.
Okay, and we're going to take a real quick commercial break and bring on one of your recent hires there. So if we would take just a second and kind of tee up that next segment for us, who we're going to bring on and what brought about this hire.
So within the last year or two, we've really got to thinking about, or had gotten to thinking about who we wanted to bring in on when we came to this market. And again, we weren't coming to this market or to the Dublin-Lawrence County market without the right person. And that's what I truly believe. If you don't go to a market without having that individual. And so, having the opportunity to get to spend some time with Jeremy Reagan over the last couple of years at certain events and whatnot, knowing he was already in this market with another bank, but I just felt like he would. If you haven't met Jeremy Reagan, he's a phenomenal guy and a wonderful banker, and he's not from this community, but I'm telling you, in the 4 or 5 years that he and his wife have lived in this community, to say that he hasn't made a difference in this community already would be wrong. He is again very active. He and his wife and his 2 kids have just really become involved in the community and their church and every aspect of the community, giving back. And that's what he's about. That's what we're about, and that's what we want to do when we're over here is really be very active. But so. Jeremy Reagan, we're really super excited about having him on board. Jeremy joined our team the 1st of July, and has just been a phenomenal asset already. But we're excited about getting him a branch here in Dublin and letting him take it and run with it, and again, just kind of do what we've done in the other markets and let us continue to be successful.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back and let you meet Jeremy.
Here's a big announcement from Central Georgia Primary Care. We're proud to announce the opening of our 2nd location right here on Central Drive in East Dublin. No matter where you are, north, south, east, or west, Central Georgia Primary Care has a health professional waiting to serve you. Central Georgia Primary Care, next to Paul's Tire on Industrial Boulevard in Dublin, and now at our brand new location on Central Drive in East Dublin, right next to Thomas Auto Supply. Need an appointment? Call us at 478-202-9440. Central Georgia Primary Care, waiting to serve you at both locations, Industrial Boulevard in Dublin, and now on Central Drive in East Dublin.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound-guided injections now and physical therapy and just a little bit better space, so hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
Welcome back to the show. I want to introduce my good friend, Jeremy Reagan. Jeremy, thank you so much for taking time out. So, Jeremy, we're going to talk about the bank today, but one of the things that Maury mentioned before we went to break was you and your family, and I want you to talk about your family a little bit and who they are and what they do in the community here. But personally, again, I want to say thank you for what you've done in our community. Previously, with another employer, you were always at the chamber, always invested in the chamber, and a community player. And even as recent as this morning, filming this show, you were at the chamber board meeting. You've been a great chamber board member and supporter, and so thank you for all of that first. But I want our folks today to get to know you and your family a little bit better, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about your role, your upcoming role here with the bank.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure. I can't tell you enough how wonderful it's been being in Dublin. You know, my wife and I, we've been married for 22 years. Brooke and I have met at Georgia Southern University, and that was back in 1998. So it's been a few minutes, but nonetheless, she's from Jones County originally. She grew up in Gray on a dairy farm there, and I grew up in Pelham, Georgia, and for whatever reason, God landed us both at Georgia Southern University, and we met from different parts of the state, and so we've been on this journey together since that time, and I have led her on a little bit of a banking tour of the state of Georgia. It was not by design, but my family, I have no family ties to banking career-wise, so but I knew that I got the opportunity to work as a teller at Trust Company Bank in 1995 and changed my major from pre-med biology to finance at Georgia Southern, and so that's how I got to be a banker. I've served time in Atlanta with the big boys, both Wells Fargo and SunTrust, and then went and worked in my hometown community bank, family bank in Pelham, Georgia. And that's where I was born and raised, worked there for almost 7 years, and then helped develop a bank in Valdosta. And then previous to coming to Dublin was the market president for Queensboro National Bank for 8.5 years in Statesboro. So I spent a good portion of my life here in Central Georgia, and really know that this is home now. My brother and his wife are in Wrightsville. Again, my in-laws are 40 minutes away in the big city of Haddock, which is just on the other side of Gordon, and my mom and dad have moved up here as well. So this is home, and I knew quite a few people in Dublin. Just through the years getting to know folks and never heard a single bad word. And so when a regional bank called me in Statesboro and asked me to come to Dublin and lead the charge for them, I didn't have to think twice about it. I just knew the reputation of Dublin, Georgia. So coming here in 2018, it was everything that we expected to be. This place has been absolutely fantastic to not only me and my career, but more importantly to my wife and my daughters. It's been a great move for us, and Dublin has quickly become home. And through that process, what I've learned is that it's not enough just to take. You got to give back. Mm-hmm. And so that's been the biggest thing. As good as Dublin and Orange County has been to my family, that you got to work as hard to pay it back. So.
That's right. Now, you mentioned those two girls, but you didn't tell us their names, and I believe one of them is still in school here, and one of them may have just recently gone to Georgia Southern. Is that right?
That's right. I got. The funny thing is when we lived in Statesboro, I didn't have a child that wanted to go to Georgia Southern University, and so when we moved to Dublin, my oldest, Reed, is now a freshman at Georgia Southern University in Statesboro, so she was looking forward to getting back. And then Kendall is a junior at West Lawrence High School as well, and she is Coach Johnson has done a fantastic job with her and developed her into a pretty good little tennis player. So the school has been fantastic. Reed did graduate from West Lawrence as well, so just real proud of my girls and taking on this transition with us. But very fortunate that Maury Beasley called me in May and asked me if I want to get back to my roots of community banking and reporting to a local CEO and most importantly a local board that truly believes in what we're doing. So when he called me, there wasn't a whole lot of thought to that. My first community banking opportunity was in Pelham, Georgia, a town of 3,500 people, and it's probably the best times of my banking career. And knowing where I come from, and the banks that I've worked for, I know that I want to end my career as a banker with a community bank, and that's what Georgia First is.
So tell me a little bit about Georgia First. I know you have already been out working and securing loans, and you guys, again, are participating, supporting community events, not just chamber, but community events. You've made several hires, if you want to talk about any of those folks that are working for you or coming to work. But tell us where you're going to be located and kind of what experience you're going to provide for folks when they come in, and maybe what makes you guys different from other banks.
Absolutely. So when Maury reached out to me, he asked me at that time if I had anybody identified that I'd love to have with us, and immediately Callie White came to mind. And Callie, you're familiar with Callie. She's been through the ambassador program for another number of years, but just as importantly to me, she's been a 13 or 14 year banker and knows banking well. And then we've also brought on several tellers, including Denise Creel has agreed to come on and work with us as our head teller. So she'll be starting with us as well. So we're going to start off as a small shop at the address is 1303 Bellevue, which
just up the road.
Just up the road. And that is our temporary home. A lot of folks will recognize that as the original location of Community Bank. So we that appealed to us because it does have a drive-through window already installed. And we're on day one, we'll be a full service operation. We're going to have new accounts, so deposit operations as well as loans. And we do, it is a small shop, but it is our temporary location until we can identify something more permanent. But that's going to be home, and we're excited about that, just to get the opportunity to come into town and not just make loans, but also do the full range of banking products, including deposits.
I think that's important, Jeremy, and again, we'll go back and make sure that people realize and understand you guys are solid. You know, the bank that you've grown into actually has been around for many, many years. You got great leadership. I don't know if we can share this or not, but I'm going to ask you. If we can't, say no, that's probably not something we can talk about. You mentioned a board of directors. What does that look like for your bank? Is it a board of 20 or 30 or 40? Are they local people? Are they some here and in other locations? How does is that when we get Maury back, is that a better question we might want to ask him?
I'm going to defer to Maury on that one. But I will tell you that we will have a community board here in Lawrence County, and that's important to me simply because that will be community business leaders that will be instrumental in leading us in the charge of developing business here. So, and that's going to come in due time. Probably within the next 2 or 3 months, we'll be asking community leaders to step forward and serve on our local board.
So I'm going to do something now I know you just absolutely love, and you can beat me or kick me after the show or whatever, but I want you to do a real quick commercial and just tell the folks, look in the camera and say, hey, we're Georgia First, and we're going to be open, and come see us, whatever it is that you'd like to say.
I will tell you that, working for the biggest of the big and the smallest of the small, I think Maury mentioned that when he came on to Georgia First Bank of Soperton, it was in the $20 million range. And I had that same experience in my hometown of Pelham, Georgia. When I walked into Family Bank, it was around $26 or $28 million. And we grew that substantially. I think that we have an opportunity here to grow together as a community, and that's the biggest thing that I look for. It's common sense banking, which sometimes has been lost on a lot of different banks, but if it makes sense to make this deal happen, let's make it happen and figure out a way to do it. The answer can't always be yes, and we recognize that as bankers. But if it's not a yes today, let's figure out a way to make it a yes tomorrow.
I like that. Hey, thank you for your support, and we wish you much success.
We believe that the customer chooses to buy insurance from people that they trust and that they know. More importantly, that they know that they will take care of them when something happens. The thing that has helped us grow the most as an agency is without a doubt the people. It's the people inside this agency that are the heartbeat. It's the team at Curry Maffitt that forges a relationship with each and every customer that walks in our door. So I would like to reach out and say thank you. Thank you for everything you do for me. Thank you for everything you do for this agency. But most importantly, thank you for everything you do for our customers. When I say Curry Maffitt is an agency unlike any other, it's an experience that we're trying to create for the customer that makes buying insurance one of the easiest things that they will ever do. When you have a problem, you need to know that we will be there for you, but you also need to know that we will respond to you. If you're looking for a more hands-on approach to your insurance needs, stop by and experience what we mean when we say we're an agency unlike any other.
Curry Maffin Insurance, downtown Dublin.
The kind of hot topics are things called patient-specific implants and instruments, which is where we use imaging like CT scans and MRIs to measure people's bone and look at the shapes of their bones, and then make implants and devices we use to implant the knee or hip replacement based on that particular person. And just about every company has that available, and people use it to varying degrees just based on, again, the patient's anatomy and whether there's some reason that you really need that extra assistance. There's also robotics that is starting to come out into the orthopedic world that's been in the general surgery world for a while now. We're starting to use robotic arms to do things like to help us make the cuts and shape the bone so the implants fit well.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
All right, welcome back to the show. I have both of these gentlemen with me today, Maury and Jeremy, together now because you guys are a team and you've been working together as a team. I know Jeremy and I kind of got on something a minute ago about the board, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. We'll go to that, but I want to back up for a few minutes and give you an opportunity, Maury. We maybe missed to tell folks how Georgia First came about. So if you would share a little bit of information for us.
So we went through a rebranding. We started the rebranding process about probably a year and a half ago, just because we knew one day we wanted to grow outside of the Soper and Trutland County market and the Vidalia Toombs County market. And we obviously in the back of our heads, we thought Dublin Lawrence County would be a really good fit for us if we could find that leader at the time. And so going through the rebranding process, we didn't feel like that banking under a name that represented one community would be really effective. So again, going through the rebranding process and working with an agency and going through about 1,000 different names, we landed on Georgia First Bank, and we thought it was just a good fit for us. There, in many different ways, it didn't limit us to one community or one demographic, and just landed us would allow us to continue to grow our bank. And yeah, that's just kind of how I just wanted to make sure that we kind of let everybody know how we came about Georgia First Bank. It was nothing. Again, looked at a lot of different names, but we felt like we're there are a lot of great banks in Georgia, and we think we're one of them, and we're all about community banking. And so, that's how we came about Georgia First, and we're excited to have that new name representing us in these three communities that we bank in.
So cover that board question for me. I know Jeremy is on our board here at the Chamber. I'm sure you've served on different boards and you have a board, and so you understand the importance of a strong board and their participation. And how does it look? Who makes up that board and how do they come about?
So we have what we call like our big board, and we have a group of men and women. We have 8 directors in addition to myself, so 9 total directors that represent us in each of the 3 communities that we're now in. So we're again. That's kind of, and those folks do a wonderful job of helping direct the bank and all the decisions that are made. Again, we have phenomenal folks that allow us to do what we know how to do, but again, tremendous support from our folks. What Jeremy was talking about and was our advisory board. We will have a very strong advisory board over here. We're super excited about that. Jeremy's putting together right now a team of folks that he's going to want to help to get him to lead us in this market. So again, we're super excited about that, and we've got the same thing in our Vidalia market. We have an advisory board in that market. So again, there's those boards are huge in helping to to direct us and give us some really good feedback in the community that we are in. So again, super excited about establishing that board over here.
Awesome. Jeremy, something else I wanted to go back just quick and ask you a quick question. So I know a lot of times when we talk about work, and I'm glad that you smile a lot when we talk about work and what we're doing. I think you really are one of the people like myself. You get to come to work. You don't have to come to work. What is it that excites you the most, or that makes you want to work in the banking industry?
Gosh, you know, being a banker is it means something totally different to people that aren't bankers, right? And their idea of what a banker is totally different than what Maury and I think of every single day when we get up and look in the mirror. It's not the same thing. So, you know, I think that people, by and large, look at that brick and mortar and this big, huge building that's 15,000 square feet or 20,000 square feet, and there's some hesitation at best, maybe some reservations or just pain that they just don't even want to walk in that building. And I think the beauty of what we get to do as bankers is again, and I said it earlier, the answer can't always be yes, but there's an opportunity for us to help people every single day. And again, the answer yes may not be a way of helping someone, but we get caught up in bankers. Military is just as bad. Education, we use acronyms and we use words that just go right over the top of their head, and I just don't believe in that. I think that every single person, we're all the same at the end of the day. And so when somebody honors me with the opportunity of their bank business, I take that as the ultimate compliment.
Awesome, awesome. And Maury, I want to close, if I would. I gave Jeremy a little bit of opportunity a minute ago, but I want to give you that same opportunity. If I know you didn't get to practice or rehearse or anything for this, but tell the folks why they need to make Georgia First Bank their local bank. Again,
like I said earlier, first of all, we got a phenomenal team over here to help you. Here in the Dublin Lawrence County market, but in addition to these other markets that we have banks in. So, no, I think we just, like I said, I think we have that we provide a unique banking experience. It's very, very receptive, very able to make quick decisions, and ultimately, I think that's what folks are looking for. And again, I think the customer service and everything that goes along with that, I think we have almost perfected. I think we do a phenomenal job. We really care about our team. We care about our folks. We care about the communities we do business in. And I think that's a wonderful reason why you ought to bank with us.
I think so. One thing I didn't ask, and I don't know which one would be to give me the answer, when will this branch actually break ground and be open for business?
I'll jump in if that's all right, Mark. We've been, and I should say this, Charlie Garbutt with Garbutt Construction has been absolutely fantastic to work with. They jumped on our project there. It's not a build up from the ground. It's not a build out from the ground up. It is a retrofit of a building that was there. But they have been instrumental in getting us in as quickly as possible. We've got all the approvals. We're set to go. As most folks have experienced in their own businesses, we've got some supply chain issues, but we fully expect to be open, shooting for the first week of November. And we'll probably move in sometime the week before that, so pretty quickly. And again, I'd like to thank Garbutt Construction for their help in getting that done. But yeah, soon.
Thank you. And I want to say thank you again, Maury. Thank you. Jeremy, thank you. Thank you both for helping us make today and every day a great day for business in Dublin, Lawrence County.